abandon the traditional survival game. And this is kind of a return to that. And what they're doing is putting on a lot of bells and whistles and a lot of deep systems into this game. Character customization.
Oh, wow.
We can go into it a little bit later once we see some gameplay, but everything, it's not about just eating food, it's about what kind of food you're eating. You check out the actual nutrition of your character, the vitamin levels, things like that. So that's just an example of what those things are. And then it blends that traditional survival game with kind of some more PvP versus modes, because the entire game takes place in the future, and like Running Man, these are inmates on a show, right?
Okay,
And
so this is
it's all broadcast.
filmed
It's all
and that stuff.
positioned
Okay,
from
okay.
like Tech One network. And so what happens is the network will alert you players while they're in game saying, hey, there's a versus kind of event going on. And you can elect to go into that. There's things all around the island. And it pits you in against other players to get top tier loot and things like that. So now I've given you the top down thing. And I probably don't know anything worthwhile after that. So Darian's gonna have to give everything, all the other details.
Should we go like question answer, or should I just talk?
Dude, hey, you can just talk, man. It's all good. It's loosey-goosey right
Okay,
here.
fair enough. So what Nigel said before is, the game is set in the near future. The things in the world aren't going in the best way. So the multimillionaire companies are taking over. They're moving people from the islands onto the coast. Yeah, right. And they're putting all the prisoners, political opponents, and everyone on the island. Everyone who's against the regime goes there, right?
Right, sure, yeah.
And they call them SCUM because they want people to, don't feel attached to them.
Right.
Yeah,
Turn
so
them into they're animals. Get them out.
Exactly. Yeah. And the main purpose of that is to dampen the people who are watching the show, what's happening on the island, so they don't rebel themselves against the regime, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good point. Okay.
So what you're gonna be doing on the island, there are like 3 layers of gameplay.
Okay.
We call them it's something like an onion. You peel the layers.
Right.
Yeah,
Sure.
you just find more stuff underneath. So the first layer of gameplay will be something like
Look at that UI, dude.
I got a lot of questions.
Okay. The first layer of gameplay will be something familiar to DayZ players, Rust.
Okay.
It's hardcore survival taken to a whole new level.
Okay.
When you play survival games, what you do, you start bare naked, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to scavenge for things, craft things, find things. It's very hard,
Right.
And in between that gameplay, starting and finding players to shoot, you have to fill time with something like food, drinking, just to make the game not boring.
Right.
Yeah. What we're trying to do here is we actually made the most advanced replication of a metabolism in a human being.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Everything you eat, everything you do affects the player. You can actually see the differences. The way you play the game affects your player, and you can see the differences in the performance. So maybe you made a buff guy, something like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type of guy.
Something like this.
Something like that.
Like male model.
exactly.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you expect, to knock people out with one punch, etc.
Right.
But what you got there is you have a man who depends a lot of calories to maintain his body mass, right?
Oh, so do you lose body mass if you don't?
Yes, you do.
What? No.
You have to keep up eating.
A big buff guy needs like 2,800 calories a day just being idle, doing basic things like walking, sitting, sleeping, whatever. But if you're gonna participate in events, fighting other players, carrying baggage and everything, you're gonna lose a lot more. So in the end, you could probably lose like 10,000 calories. And if you want to maintain that body mass, you have to find food. And you're in a survival game. Food is scarce. So your character is probably going to change. He's going to go towards the thinner side. He's going to grow a bit weaker.
Wow.
Those are examples of the systems in place. It just takes everything much deeper. It's really neat. Same thing with combat. Same thing with your medic. If you get poisoned, things like that. It's not just that superficial thing of like grab something anymore. It's you have to understand what's happening and why it's happening.
Yeah.
So you have to be really into survival games.
That's pretty insane because some people in real life don't even look at their vitamin intakes.
I guess they take more care of themselves in SCUM than they do in real life.
Yeah,
for
no
sure.
shit.
The underlining real message is
What
you
I
need
have
help.
to say is that all that, vitamin intake, food, is totally optional. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
In the bottom left of the screen, you can actually see it overly simplified presentation of all you have to worry about. Your health, your stamina, your hydration, and your energy.
Okay.
But if you want to go deeper and you want to really make a super turbo killing machine, you can actually do it. You can stay fit. You can watch what you eat.
Okay.
Is this a zombie?
We call them puppets.
Puppets. Okay.
Yeah, because they're ex-convicts. Because this is a season 2 of the show.
Okay.
Season 1 is already over.
Okay.
Every prisoner has a little BCU monitor on his, head, a chip that actually sends signals to the server in real time, and it monitors all your body functions, your heart rate, your breathing and everything.
Oh, so the audience is seeing this as well?
You as well as a player can see it. you
Right.
know. And later, as the game progresses, maybe not in early access, but later we plan to add a storyline missions.
Okay.
And your main mission will be to leave the island. You're going to leave the island by removing the chip from your head, so the company doesn't know where you are. They
Right,
can't
sure.
locate you anymore, right?
Okay.
But once you remove the chip, you're going to lose the user interface that the chip is giving you.
Oh, wow. That's
So
really interesting.
you're going to have to play in a whole new way.
Okay.
Also, if you want to, we have all kinds of specializations in the game, like skills. And maybe to remove the chip, you're probably going to have a couple of guys working together as a team.
Right, yeah.
We're counting on players being, totally.
SCUM Season 2 is gearing up, with Tech One's most violent offenders on display in our award-winning survival broadcast. With over 3 times as many drones, viewers will enjoy the contestants' most intimate moments. New weapons and gear elevate the action, but it's the trademark paranoia that drives the savagery to new heights, making SCUM a thrill for the entire family. Fear not. Tech One security is on site to keep contestants in line. Oh my. And of course, fan favorite Mr. Smiles is back again for rule enforcement. SCUM, welcome to the next era in Supermax survival.
All contestant corpses will be reused in SCUM per government regulations.